What's poppin', siblings? This is Talkin Sporty with L Franchise presented by the Bros TV. Today we talking college football mania. We got the coaching carousel and this 12-team playoff who is gonna get real interesting this weekend. Talkin Sporty L Franchise. Let's go.
Fast moves like lightning's whisper. Yeah. Sharp grooves, we're cutting quicker. Yeah. The game's alive, the pulse gets thicker. Yeah. Yeah. We talking sporty. Hey. We talking sporty. Hey. We talking sporty. Hey.
All right. The biggest domino to fall in this coaching carousel was, of course, the Lane Kiffin to LSU. He took some assistance with him. Ole Miss is not allowing him to coach in the playoffs because their new coach, Pete Golden, the defensive coordinator, has been promoted to head coach, permanent head coach. Shout out to Pete Golden, Hammond, Louisiana, stand up. You heard me? So, all right, you got that domino. You got that in place. Ole Miss has their coach. So, Jon Sumrall, Tulane's head coach, he accepted the Florida job. So Jon Sumrall, he's leaving Tulane. He's going to Florida. But the only thing about it, Tulane, they're allowing Jon Sumrall to coach in the AAC Conference Championship game and potentially any playoff games that will come if they win. Now, in that game, he is coaching. Tulane plays North Texas, and their coach Eric Morris, one of the great offensive minds in the game right now, he has actually accepted an offer to be Oklahoma State's next coach. Now, Texas is doing like Tulane. They letting them coach in the championship game and any potential playoff games. This is crazy. But I understand Ole Miss premise. Ole Miss position is like, nah, LSU is our direct rival. It's just, nah, we can't do it. Another interesting thing about this this coaching cycle was that the SEC raiding the AAC. So we have 3 AAC coaches going to SEC teams. We mentioned Jon Sumrall at Tulane. We got Alex Golesh, University of South Florida. He is the new Auburn head coach. Ryan Silverfield, Memphis's head coach, is going to Arkansas, and that's crazy because they beat the brakes off Arkansas earlier this season. That's interesting. So that's 3, like I said, 3 AAC coaches moving to the SEC. It's kind of becoming a breeding ground on the cool. So now we might have someone from the SEC going to the AAC. So you got LSU's defensive coordinator, Blake Baker. Blake Baker is a Tulane alum. And Blake Baker was in New Orleans interviewing for the Tulane head coaching vacancy. I heard names like Billy Napier being thrown out there as well. I'm pretty sure they got other candidates, but in my personal opinion, I think Blake Baker is going to be Tulane's next head coach. I really do. And if I'm LSU, I probably go get DJ Durkin from Auburn. He might be a little salty that he didn't get the head coaching job. He was the interim coach at Auburn this past season. Or I mean, I wonder if Lane Kiffin will look at his brother Chris Kiffin. He's been a defensive analyst at Ole Miss. He was a DC at Florida Atlantic for Lane. And in between those 2 stints, he had experience as NFL position coaches, as a position coach in the NFL for the Niners, the Texans, among others. So I'm gonna tell y'all the weirdest thing about this whole thing. We also had James Franklin a few weeks ago. He took the Virginia Tech job, but the weirdest thing is, and quite quietly, Penn State hasn't been filled. I saw they had I think they had an interview with BYU's coach, but BYU, I just saw on ESPN, BYU just re-upped him. So he just signed the extension with BYU. So Penn State is still coachless at this point. Is Penn State not viewed as a top tier job anymore? Is the shine wearing off? Joe Paul probably rolling over in his grave right now. But I'm gonna tell y'all my favorite hire of the cycle for his coaching cycle. Marshall Faulk to Southern. I love it. Hall of Famer, Louisiana legend. MVP. Running backs don't really win MVPs. He was the MVP of the league. Real dual threat. He got the NFL pedigree. It's kind of like pretty much what Jackson State did with Deion. I know Marshall kind of more, calculated and ain't as I guess flamboyant as Prime and things of that nature and charismatic on the mic, but Man, this is Marshall Faulk we talking about. This is Marshall Faulk we talking about. He will definitely bring recruiting juice. And I think he'll get some donors. He gonna get some excitement and attention to the Jags, to SU. So I'm really excited for Marshall Faulk going to Southern. Shout out to the Jags for pulling it off. All right, up next, we're gonna talk about this 12-team playoff right now. The new rankings just dropped. I got questions. We're gonna talk about the locks and possible doomsday scenarios. We'll be right back. L Franchise Talkin Sporty.
We talking sporty. Hey, hey.
All right, this 12-team playoff. So right now, as they have it, you have Ohio State at 1, Indiana 2, Georgia 3, Texas Tech 4. Currently, those top 4 teams will receive a bye. They don't play in the first round, okay? Now, the teams with the home games right now, you have number 5, Oregon. They'll play a home game. Number 6, Ole Miss. They moved up a spot. Number 7, Texas A&M. And number 8, Oklahoma. Those teams will host games. Oregon, they will host a game. And they will probably play one of the conference championship games, either the AAC or the ACC conference championship winners. Ole Miss at 6, same thing with them. They'll play the other winner of one of those conference championship games. 7, Texas A&M, they will host Notre Dame, who is number 10 right now. And number 8, Oklahoma would host Alabama in the 8-9 matchup. So now this where it gets weird and tricky and things of that nature. So you got BYU at 11 and Miami at 12. BYU plays Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. So if BYU beats Texas Tech, would Notre Dame be put out for BYU? BYU's 11-1. Texas Tech 11-1. Both of those, like, you can't punt Texas Tech, I feel like a lock. Okay, you got that scenario with BYU winning. Then you have the Miami, Notre Dame. If BYU loses, then the last spot comes down to Miami and Notre Dame. And then you got the head-to-head. Miami beat Notre Dame. Honestly, I feel like right now Miami is not better than Notre Dame. But I can't dismiss. I saw the game and they beat them. You can't just dismiss that. You know what I'm saying? Now, another question. Alabama sitting at 9. If Alabama loses the SEC championship, does that hurt them enough to where they are bounced out of the playoff? Because if BYU wins and Alabama loses, you got a 3-loss Alabama team and a 1-loss BYU team. Now these who I feel like my locks. I feel like Ohio State, Indiana, they play in the Big Ten championship. They locked. Both of those teams locked. Georgia, even if they lose, they going. Texas Tech, I feel like they locked. I feel like Texas Tech locked. That's 4 locks. Oregon locked. Ole Miss locked. Texas A&M, Oklahoma locked. So that's 8 locks. But this is the messed up part for teams like Alabama and even Oklahoma got 2 losses and you got BYU with 1. Like, you're not even giving the credit to playing in the conference championship games anymore. Right? Like, why would I play in a conference champ? Why would I want to even play in a conference championship game, bro? Then you got, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, should winning your division cost you your playoff spot? Because if you got Ole Miss, A&M, and Oklahoma, they good. You know? I don't know. But this ACC is real weak with Virginia versus Duke. I don't even feel bad for Miami if they get left out because you got Virginia and Duke in the conference championship game, bro. Like, no, it's no way you shouldn't be in the conference championship game, Miami. Like, for real, that ACC was super weak this year. So if they get left out, that's on their body. I ain't gonna lie. I was at Yarman Stadium at Tulane, Charlotte this past weekend. North Texas is about to beat the sleeves off Tulane. I think North Texas is about to beat the sleeves off Tulane. But I don't know. I love it though. I'm here for all the chaos, all the possible scenarios. I do want to see BYU beat Texas A&M, and then we see where everybody's staying. But what's your take? Miami, should they get in over Notre Dame if it comes to that? Do you value head to head, or are you more about how the team is playing this late in the season? And Alabama, if they lose to Georgia, they have to get in, right? Based on anybody at work. Y'all let me know. Talking Sporty L franchise presented by the Bros TV, and we out.
Fast moves like lightning's whisper. Yeah. Sharp grooves, we're cutting quicker. Yeah. The game's alive, the pulse gets thicker. Yeah. Yeah. We talking sporty. Hey.